My name is Bree Hunter. I'm the social work intern here at the Psychology and Social Work Clinic. My chart said that your name is Mariah. Is that what you would like to be referred to, or is there something you're more comfortable with?
Mariah is great.
Great. So today we're going to start off by talking about various policies we have here at the clinic in terms of counseling. The receptionist should have spoke to you about cancellation and fees. Did she go over that with you?
Yes, she did.
Okay, so I'll jump right in with confidentiality. As an intern, I'm under supervision, so that means I will be, I guess, between me and another person talking about various cases I take on, so like yours, for instance. Ethically, I'm not allowed to administer any of the information you share with me in these sessions unless it's with my supervisor, and you also have access to your chart, so at any point that you want to see that, that is fine. In terms of breaking confidentiality, if you express anything, like any information that regards to child or elder abuse, I am required to report it. So I just want you to be aware of that when we start going forward. Don't feel nervous about sharing anything with me. Just like keep that in the back of your mind when talking to me. Do you have any questions?
No, I do not.
Great. So I guess we can get into it. How are you? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm pretty good. I'm actually pretty nervous to be here. This is my first time in counseling. I'm currently a third-year social work student, and I have a job in the library, which takes up a lot of my time. And I'm also 3 hours away from home, so that was kind of a big thing for me to move here so far away. And aside from my job in the library, I don't really have anything I'm involved with on campus. I don't have a lot of involvement in different activities or clubs.
Okay, well, going into counseling is a huge step for anyone in terms of their well-being, so I can completely understand the apprehension. That's completely normal. I just want to let you know that. Being 3.5 hours away from home, just moving away from home in general, is a big, big step, and it's a big change. How have you been handling that the last 3 years?
It's been kind of stressful. I know 3 years is a lot of time to kind of help cope with things. I don't really have a lot of time to go back home to visit my family a lot, except for different like long university breaks, like winter break or spring break or things like that. I kind of find myself diving into like my academics and my library job, and I don't have a lot of time to kind of like hang out with friends or be involved in other things. So I just feel kind of like alone in that sense. Like I don't really have a big support network around me.
So it sounds like you were a little ill-prepared coming into this transition to college. By any chance, do you have anyone in your family that you could have turned to for advice, or like any questions you might have had about transitioning to college?
In terms of my support system, my family is very supportive of me. My parents, I'm really close with them, and I also have two sisters that I can talk to a lot. So they've made the transition easier, getting to talk to them, and if I want to call them anytime, that's totally fine with them, so that's been a big help. But in terms of transitioning, I think a lot of like what they go over in orientation, like first year students, they kind of tell you all about the different organizations and like classes you can get involved in. But I think maybe just kind of getting more information on that and like how I can get involved, because I came into school undecided, so not having access to information about like what I wanted to do with my career path or like the classes I was taking, and so it's just I didn't have that niche of like classes that I wanted to go into, and I didn't see the same people every day. So just kind of more information on how to get involved on campus, especially because I was a first year and didn't know a lot about campus. So,
by any chance, have you heard of or been to the involvement fair that they put on at the beginning of each school year? It's usually geared toward first year students, but obviously as a third year student, you're more than welcome to go and just see all the organizations, clubs that are on campus. Some are more towards like recreational or social aspects, but I know that there are some like honor societies that are specifically for majors. Have you gone to that?
I went my freshman year just because in my first year residence hall, my RA took us to the involvement fair, and we kind of walked around together in groups and stuff, and so I just kind of looked around and kind of followed a few of my people, like my roommates and like people on my floor, just to see what everybody else was interested in. I signed up for a few email lists, but I never really followed through by going to meetings. I think I went to maybe one or two, but kind of forgot, or things didn't work out with my schedule or anything. So I have been just my freshman year, but I have not been the past 2 years.
Okay, yeah, I can understand why that'd be extremely overwhelming. Like, even though it's on College Green, there's just so many tables to look at, and you just if you don't know where you kind of want to go when you come into college, it can be very, like, I guess, overwhelming in layman terms. There is a program, a website actually, called OrgSync. I don't know if you've heard of it. Have you?
I have.
Okay, so you've seen, like, the makeup of it, and, like, has a list of all the organizations, clubs, honor societies, just a bunch of stuff on campus. I feel like that might be a better option for you, since it's just, you type in, like, what you may be interested in, and, like, all the clubs in that category pop up. Would you be interested in, like, going through that with me?
Yeah, that would be great, just because I don't really know how exactly to use the website. I mean, you talked about how you can go to different subjects and, like, different things you're interested in, like recreational or music or something like that, but just kind of, like, figuring out, like, maybe when meeting times are, people I can contact, like, be involved with that organization would be good.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure most of the organizations have their days and times that they meet. And also whoever is in charge of it, I think their email is listed, so if you wanted to, like, reach out and find out, like, more information that they have on the website, I think that would also be good for you. In terms of your just diving into your academics, how has that been? I know, like, having your social support and everything at home, but, like, since you're lacking that a bit here, how has that affected you academically?
Academically, I think I struggled a lot with stress management and trying to get everything done, just because my course load is a lot and I don't really have a lot of free time aside from going to my job to do things like that help me manage that stress. So I think I focus a lot on my academics to the point where it's kind of like a disservice to me. Like, I'm focusing and studying hard, but also it's so much that I think I'm taking it very seriously, and I am very hard on myself, and I don't give myself a lot of room for error, which is a big thing for me too, because especially in, like, what you mentioned with my support system, like, I can talk to my parents about that, but there's really not a lot that they can do. A lot of it is kind of like on me, or like I think it'd be helpful for me to have friends in the major or in my classes that maybe we can, like, talk things out with, because I've talked with advisors before, but it's very different getting, like, an adult's perspective than a student who's actually, like, in that major with me. So it's, my academics aren't terrible, it's just kind of a struggle, kind of try to keep motivated.
I can imagine. I remember when I was going through all of this now, kind of getting out of school here soon, it is very stressful to not have someone that can completely be, like, on the same playing field as you to get through. Like, you really need that backup and, like, those people you can go to. I know you mentioned earlier your social work major. Right off the bat, I thought of the Student Social Work Association. So it's mostly social work majors. They deal with, like, self-care stuff, which I think would be great for you regarding your stress management, especially if you don't have any other outlets like clubs, organizations. I don't know in terms of, like, hobbies what you're interested in, but if you wanted that social support while on campus, I think that that association would be great for you, because it'll give you tips in that area as well. So we can certainly look that up before you leave today if you're interested in that.
Yes, that sounds great.
It's great. Well, I know that this was a really quick session. It's only about 30 minutes. This is a drop-in session, but I'm definitely interested in setting up individual sessions for you going forward. We can tackle that stress management a little bit more going forward as well. We can also, next session, or now if you want to, if you have time, look into OrgSync and just maybe figure out, like, your hobbies and your interests, and see if there's anything on campus that gears towards that, since I'm going to assume that the SSWA doesn't meet tonight, so you can have something to get you through this week, and then we can look forward to that next week. Do you have any questions for me? I know that there was a lot crammed into 30 minutes by any chance?
For if I decide to go on and, like, schedule more sessions with you, how long do those usually last?
Typically, an individual session is about 50 minutes.
Okay.
If I don't have anyone after you, I usually allow an extra 10 minutes, so maybe an hour.
Okay.
Depending on what you need from me that day. It's really about what's best for you. So if I don't have any other schedules, which is why it's so important, the cancellation topic that you have with the receptionist is good, so that you can get as much time and help as you need.
Okay, perfect. I would love to set up some future sessions with you and kind of go over OrgSync next time if you're willing to do that with you.
Oh, I would love to. Thank you for coming in today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It was very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Thank you.
Bye.